All right, guys, welcome back. In this video, we're going to learn about a strategy called store answer. So in the last set of videos, we learned about a strategy where we were storing up given numbers. So we read the question and there were numbers inside the question to store. But this strategy is different because in this strategy, we're going to store up numbers from our answer choices. And you can see that down here, we have some very nice numbers to store. We could store -2, we could store -3. Okay, so this is how we can know that we're going to use the store answer strategy. First, I see that they gave me an equation. That's very important. I have to have an equation and I have to have some stuff on an equation, guys, always has an equal sign. Okay. Even if I was to write the word equation, you can see that the word equal is kind of hidden in there. And that's important because in this strategy, we've got some stuff on the left of the equal sign and some stuff on the right of the equal sign. And that's important for store answer. The next thing I have that's important, so there are two main parts to this. First, an equation. And second, I need to have plain numbers inside my answer, plain numbers. And by that I mean -2 or -3 or +2. In other words, numbers without algebra. Okay, so far we've learned how to store up regular numbers, and you can only store up regular numbers. So here we go. I'm going to store up a -2 for my letter X. Okay, so that's exactly how it's going to go. We're going to go through every single answer choice, and we're going to store them to our letter X. So all my answers are going to go inside the X, and we're going to see how they work out. All right, so the first choice is -2. -2. Let me get rid of this little bubble so it doesn't confuse anyone. -2 store X. Okay, so -2 enter. And I see now the calculator's acknowledging it, which is great. And I'm going to go back to my question. And now, guys, I'm going to grab my equation. So let me get rid of that bubble so it's not confusing. I'm going to grab my whole entire equation. Okay, so x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. X squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. Enter. Okay, and that one tells me true. All right, beautiful. So I'm going to write down right here that this one came out to be true. All right, that's important. Now you might think, oh, well, this one came out to be true, so it must be A, but that's not correct. What we see here is there's also a second number for this choice, and we have to try out both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this because I've only tested half the answer. I've tested the -2. I've also got to test the -3. Okay. So we're going to test out that -3 by storing it to the letter X. Okay, so I'm going to go -3 store X and hit enter. And now you can see the calculator has changed its mind. It's not going to do -2 anymore when it sees an X. It's now going to do -3 when it sees an X. And I'm going to move up, 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 enter, and enter. And that was a little trick I can do so that I don't have to write this whole thing again. And you can see that it came out to be false. Okay, so now this guy came out to be false. If one of them is false, that means that the whole answer is incorrect. We need an answer where both come out to be true. All right, so we know that -2 was true, which means that it's going to be true no matter what. And if I put -2 again, it would still come out to be true. And we know that -3 turned out to be false. So if I know -3 is false, that means that this -3 is also going to be false, which means that I can now, let me clear that off so it doesn't look confusing, get rid of this choice C, because this -3 is also going to be false. It's exactly the same thing as that -3. And this -2 came out to be true, so that means maybe I should try choice B. All right. So I'm going to store up the second piece of choice 3, which is the positive 3. Okay, 3, control store X, enter. And remember, I don't want to write my equation again. We've done this in previous videos. So I'm just going to select it by pressing up a few times and hit enter. And that came out to be true. So now I see that both choices turned out to be true. So it must be choice B. And now that I got that 3, even if I wanted to check, I could check the final answer, right? I could check choice D. This one's going to be true because positive 3 is true. So we know that that's a good answer. But positive 2, let's see what happens with positive 2, because we have not checked positive 2 before. We only checked negative 2. So I just want to show you that if I do positive 2, and I do my same process, my answer will come out to be false. Okay? And this is important because if you look at these, you can see that this one, true and false, came out to be wrong. This one had a false, so it was wrong. This one had a false, so it was wrong. The only one that was correct was this one, and it's because it had 2 trues. Okay, so that's how store answer choice works. And again, in this video, we learned about a strategy called store answer. The main pieces are that you need an equation and you need to have ordinary numbers, no algebra, ordinary numbers to test in your answer choices. And you check to see that they both come out to be true. And if they come out to be true, then you know, if the complete answer comes out to be true, then that means that it is the correct answer. All right. Thanks for watching this video. There'll probably be some more practice coming soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you at our next practice session.